Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday message. I am happy to be here with you all today. I've got a word for you. Let me know where you're joining from. Hello, YouTube. Hi, Facebook. We're going to give it a few minutes, not too long, but let some more people come in before we start with the message for today. I hope you all had a great weekend. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Like, share. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my page. Let someone know that I am live. Share this broadcast. You never know who needs a message. It might be right on time for them. So share, share, share. Hit the heart button. Get some love on Facebook. We're going to give it a few more seconds and let some more people come in before I get started. Hello, everyone. Let me know where you're watching from, where you are joining me from tonight, Facebook, YouTube. Welcome to the Monday message, everybody. Good evening. Hey, Buffy. Let's get a few more people in here, then we're going to get started. Hey, Aunt Deb. Hi, YouTube. I can't see who's joining on YouTube at the moment, but hello to you all. Good evening. All right. Y'all ready to get started? Let's go. Let's go with the Monday message. If this is your first time joining me this week, I am grateful to have you here and I thank you for watching. The Monday message is a word from the Lord that He ministers to me first. So if you are just joining now and you've never been up here before, welcome. Welcome to the Monday message. Good evening, everyone. And I thank you for joining me. The Lord has a word for us tonight. Hey, Van. Hey, sis. My pastor, my apostle, my spiritual mother, Van Williams, Restoration Ministries. Hi. I love me some Van Williams. That is my sister. Let's go, everybody. So, this message is a continuation from last week. If you were not here with us last week, let me know if y'all can hear me well. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm talking loud enough. So last week we were in the book of Nehemiah. And we're going to go back there today. We're going to continue with this message. It's actually three parts. So if you're joining tonight, make sure you come back next week as well. So just to refresh your minds, last week in the book of Nehemiah, we were speaking on Nehemiah rebuilding the wall in Jerusalem. And he was afraid for a while. So the word of last week, we're going to go back to that, which was it's time to pray and build. It's time to pray and build. That is still the word for this week, and it will be the word for next week. This is a three-part message. So it's time to build, it's time to pray and build. And last week in Nehemiah, we learned how to pray. Nehemiah gave us a strategy on how to pray, and we started our prayer with adoration, which is giving praise to God, thanking Him for who He is and what He's done for us, just loving on the Father, showing Him love, and that is adoration. Then we're going to confess our sins, which simply means we missed the mark. To sin means you missed the mark, which we all do. And then we're going to go into remembrance. Remember, you were delayed, not delayed, not denied. God is a promise keeper. So sometimes you have to go in and remember and bring back to His remembrance what He spoke over your life. You might have took a wrong turn somewhere, but the promise is still there. And then you're going to petition the Lord. Ask and you shall receive. In other folks' terms, a closed mouth don't get fed. And that is the same word with the Lord. So if you're not praying and asking for what you need, then how can you receive it? All right. So it's time to build and pray. Adoration, confess, remembrance, and petition. And that's how you're going to pray. If you go with me to Nehemiah, the second chapter, I'm going to be reading out of NIV. But this message is we're going into 2023. And we are going to level up in 2023. Level up on all areas. And, a lot of times people associate leveling up with money, but I'm not just talking about money. Leveling up here is being successful in any area in your life where you feel like change or growth is necessary. We're leveling up on all areas of our lives. Making changes is not easy. And our day-to-day habits, new things, it's not easy to start new ways, but it's necessary to grow. So Nehemiah 2, and we're going to start at the end of verse 1, which says, I had not been sad in his presence before. Nehemiah is talking to the king. He's about to make his request to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. So he's speaking to the king here. I had not been sad in his presence before. So the king asked me, why does your face look so sad when you are not ill? This can be nothing but sadness of heart. I was very much afraid, but I said to the king, may the king live forever. Why should my face not look sad when the city where my ancestors are buried lies in ruin and its gates have been destroyed by fire? The king said to me, what is it you want? Then I prayed to God of heaven. And I answered the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in his sight, let him send me to the city in Judea where my ancestors are buried so I can rebuild it. And we're going back to the message. It is time to pray and build. And what does this verse say to us? Nehemiah was afraid. So if you were with us last week, we spoke about being honest, being vulnerable, opening your heart to the Lord. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to take a moment and express what you need, exactly what you need. Nehemiah recognized a problem area and he wanted to work on it. And he admitted he was scared. Then he prayed to the Lord. He prayed to God after he recognized the problems in his life. So it's a full range of people up here tonight. So some of you got fresh ideas. Everybody is not in a season where you feel like you're lacking. Some of you have fresh ideas. You want to start something new, or you want to make a change in your habits. It might be something small to somebody else, but might be something big to you. I got up this morning and I didn't press the snooze button. That's a change for me. Not pressing the snooze button and getting up out of the bed instead of dragging my morning along. It can be a simple change that can create new habits and growth in your life. It doesn't have to be something major to somebody else, but it's major to you. So we're going to recognize the areas that we need change in. Admit that you're scared. If some things that you need to move forward with, admit that you're scared. Let the Lord know how you feel. You got ideas and you want to start something new. You have to start by changing your habits. But what you haven't done is prayed about it. You sat in their car in front of the house for an extra 15 minutes after you got off work, and you sat there, you thinking of all the things that are going wrong in your life, but you didn't pray about it. I sit in my car. It's a habit sometimes. You pull up and you just gotta take a moment. You take that moment, but you don't take it fully and take it to the next level and pray to God and ask him for what you need. You've been on your knees praying and asking God for other things, but you're not being honest about what's really on your heart, the changes that you want to make within yourself, the areas that you want to grow in. You're not allowing yourself to move forward because you're afraid to admit what you have going on. So I don't know if this is for somebody on the live or on the replay, but I hear the Lord saying you've got so many notes in your phone stored up with fresh ideas, but you're afraid to release your word to me and ask for help. You've got all these ideas in your phone, in your notes, stored up, but you have yet to ask me for the strategy or the means to make it happen. In your notes, your next level is sitting in your notepad. The next level of success for you and your family that's going to bring you abundance and overflow is sitting in your notes. And all you have to do is ask him for the strategy, says the Lord. So many of us get caught up in our own thoughts and fears, and we just miss out on our blessings from God. We're ready to move forward, but we haven't opened up our mouths and let him know that we're ready to move forward. We haven't told him our heart's desires. He's God. He knows what we need. But just like anybody else, if you want something, you have to ask for it. Let him know how you feel. Let him know what's going on. He already knows. So why not be honest with the Lord? If he already knows, it's nothing else for you to be honest. Let your guard down and be honest. It's time to pray and build in 2023. Back in the spring of this year, one of the places where I go talk to the Lord is at the beach. And it's peaceful there. It's quiet. It quiets my mind and I can hear him clearly. But the Lord ministered to me in such a way earlier this year. I could hear him clearly telling me to go to the water. And every time he said go to the water, I knew he was speaking of this one particular beach in Virginia Beach, which is Chicks Beach. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the area, but the Lord sends me to Chicks Beach. He says, go to the water. And this one particular day, um, Chicks Beach is off of Shore Drive and Pleasure House. If you don't know, once you turn down Pleasure House, it's a straight drive. You can either go to the right or you can go to the left. All my life, I've been going to the same beach, and every time I get to the end, I go to the right. Literally every single time. I'm 36 years old, and I had never been to the left side. So when I'm driving down this road, I hear the Lord say clearly, go left. And I'm like, I'm in the right hand lane. I'm going the way I've always been. But I keep hearing the Lord say, go left. So I get over. I go to the left. I'm like, I know he's sending me here for a reason. So I get out the car, I go on the beach. I said, I'm here, Lord. I'm here. You told me go left, and I'm here. And in that moment, when I said that, I looked up and it was dolphins, a whole family of dolphins going forward. It had to be at least 6 of them going across the water. I've never seen that on the right side before. The side that I've always gone on. I've never seen that on the right side. And soon as those dolphins popped up, I heard the Lord say to my ear, sometimes you have to go a different direction. If you go the same way, you'll receive a lesson. But if you go the new way, you'll receive a blessing. So sometimes you have to switch up your motives, switch up your ways. If you got all those notes in your phone, I don't know who that's for. That just keeps coming. If you got these ideas or you're ready to move forward on some things in life, God is telling you to go the other direction. Go a different way. Ask him for a new path. Ask him how can you get to your next level by praying to him. He will show you the way. He will give you strategy. And like Nehemiah said, he was afraid. He was afraid, and he admitted that he was afraid. It's okay to not know exactly what you want to do. It's okay to not know what direction to go in. But if you ask the Lord, he'll give you that direction. Don't miss out on your blessing in 2023 by being complacent, afraid, stagnant, or insecure about what it is that you want to do. Don't let anybody else project their fears onto you about what it is that you want to do. Move forward. It is okay. It's okay to go forward. Thus says the Lord. And what are you going to do this, to move forward in this new year? We're going to recognize and acknowledge the areas for growth and change. Sit for a moment. What is it that I want to change about myself? What areas do I want to grow in? And like I said, this isn't even a message just for somebody who's feeling down. You might have had a successful year, but what is going to take you to your next level? Recognize and acknowledge the areas for growth and change. And then be honest about the fears and anxieties that you have. Let the Lord minister to your heart. Sit for a moment and let him tell you which way to go. I'm afraid to move forward. I'm afraid to try this new idea. I'm afraid to open this business. I'm afraid to change the habits that I have that I've been going through every year for years in my life. I'm afraid to change my habits because I think it's going to make me fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Because if God placed it on your heart, these ideas, you're not going to fail if you ask him which way to go. Pray to God for your building plan. Pray to him for your building plan, because the word of the Lord is time to pray and build. And that's what we're going to do going into this new year. We're not going to sit on our ideas going into 2023. We're not going to sit on old habits and old ways that are keeping us behind. We're going to move forward in 2023. Recognize and acknowledge the areas for growth in your life and move forward. Press on. God will give you the strategy. He will give you the download of exactly how to do what it is that you need to do in your life to take yourself, your family to the next level. So, the word of the Lord and the message for this week still, it's time to build and pray. Listen to the message the Lord told me. If you go the same way, you'll receive a lesson. But if you go the other direction, you'll receive a blessing. Move forward, go a different direction, change your habits, let those new ideas flow. Whatever those notes are, get them out of your phone and get them into reality. It's time to do new things. It's time to pray new prayers, sit with the Lord and ask him what you need. And we're going to grow in 2023. Whatever area it is in your life that you need changing, don't let nobody tell you that the things that you want are too small. Don't let nobody tell you that the things you want are too big. It's not their business. It's not nobody's business what you have going on. It's not anybody's business what you spoke to the Lord about your heart's desires and what he promised you and what is going to come to pass, because you know that God is a promise keeper. So it's time to build and pray. And that is the Monday message. And we're going to continue with that next week. The next week, I'm going to bring you even further strategy, because with new plans, new ways of life, with growth in general comes opposition. And so next week, we're going to go into warfare. We're going to go into how to beat these enemies that are trying to keep you bound spiritually. We're going to go into strategies on how to pray against the plot of the enemy. The enemy is the devil, Satan. I don't even like saying his name. I just call him the enemy. That's exactly what he is. He came to kill, steal, and destroy, but we're not going to let him do that in 2023. We're going to pray and build according to the word of the Lord. So I thank you all for joining me tonight. And if you have not done so yet, go to my website, ShaylaDawn.com. Where's that? Right there. ShaylaDawn.com, and get my book, 5 Days of Gratitude. Build your faith in God by giving thanks in all seasons. It's Christmas time. If you're local, I got free shipping. I'll deliver it to you. You can come pick it up. Just click that button and I'll get it to you. Stocking stuffers, Christmas presents, wrap it up, give it to somebody. Christmas is Sunday, and somebody needs to build their faith going into this new year. So I thank you all for joining me tonight, and I'll see you back here next Monday with the Monday message. I love you. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your week.